Diversity and multiculturalism in the classroom. Carlos Ghosn once said, "Being in a multicultural environment in childhood is going to give you intuition, reflexes, and instincts. You may acquire basic responsiveness later on, but it's never going to be as spontaneous as when you have been bathing in this environment during childhood." According to the latest update in the Glossary of Education Reform in 2013, multicultural education refers to any form of teaching that incorporates the histories, text, values, beliefs, and perspectives of people from different cultural backgrounds. As teachers, we are given the opportunity to meet and teach students from a wide variety of cultures and ethnicities. By understanding and incorporating many different opportunities for all students to be a part of multicultural education, we can enrich learning experiences for all. Along with including multicultural education in the classroom, teachers should implement equity pedagogy. In the article, Equity Pedagogy, an Essential Component of Multicultural Education, Sherry and James Banks define equity pedagogy as teaching strategies and classroom environments that help students from diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural groups attain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to function effectively within and help create and perpetuate a just, humane, and democratic society. Banks and Banks state the implementation of strategies such as cooperative learning and culturally relevant instruction within the context of existing assumptions and structures will not result in equity pedagogy. In order to effectively implement equity pedagogy in the classroom, it will require actively having students involved in a process of construction of knowledge and production. To further develop the concept of multicultural education, Banks and Banks formulated specific dimensions to implement into instruction. The 5 dimensions include content integration, knowledge construction process, prejudice reduction, equity pedagogy, and empowering school culture and social structure. The article Multicultural Education defines the 5 dimensions. Content integration deals with the infusion of various cultures, ethnicities, and other identities to be represented in the curriculum. The knowledge construction process involves students in critiquing social positioning of groups through the ways that knowledge is presented. Prejudice reduction simply means that teachers are to implement lessons and activities to improve intergroup relations. Equity pedagogy refers to making changes to teaching styles and approaches to best facilitate academic achievement for all students. Lastly, empowering school culture describes the need to examine the culture of the school and reconstruct instructional practices to create access to knowledge for all learners. After all of the previous information, the question is raised as to why is this important, or if it is even important at all. Multiculturalism in the classroom is without a doubt important, and it benefits all students. According to the article, The Influences of Multicultural Educational Practices on Student Outcomes and Intergroup Relations, written by Sabrina Zirkle of Mills College, states, multicultural education practices also improve learning, achievement, and engagement of all students. Higher and lower achieving students, students of color and white students, lower and higher SES students. Relating all of the information and applying it to the classroom is the most vital part of multiculturalism and equity pedagogy. It has been discussed that multiculturalism in the classroom has powerful effects on all learners. One subject that teachers can apply multiculturalism to very easily is social studies. According to Google terms, social studies is the subject that is defined as studying the various aspects or branches of the study of human society considered as an educational discipline. Several ways of including multiculturalism in social studies is through literacy, group interaction, creation of multicultural projects, hosting culture days, and going beyond the textbook. Literature is something that every subject utilizes to make learning come to life and relatable for all students. Teachers use these suggested book titles along with endless amount of others to incorporate multiculturalism in social studies. In the book, Mama, Do You Love Me?, students get to enjoy a fictional story of a young Eskimo girl experiencing growing independence and expressing her love for her mother. Students will be able to relate to the story because regardless of their backgrounds, they will be able to understand the concept of growing up. The students will also get a look into different culture of that of the Eskimos. In the book Hush, A Thai Lullaby by Ming Fo Ho, students are introduced to cultural backgrounds of the Chinese people. And lastly, the book of Malcolm Little gives students the culture of an African American while giving them an introduction of the biography of Malcolm X as a young child. By incorporating such literature in the classrooms, students will learn about various cultures and be able to see the personal connections they have in their own lives, allowing the students to see that even though they may look different or speak differently, they all have the same common aspects of life. The whole idea behind multiculturalism in the classroom is introducing students to various cultures and adjusting teaching so that all students in the classroom easily learn various content. In social studies, one excellent way to integrate multiculturalism is allowing students to study their own heritage and origin, then pairing them with a fellow classmate and having the students compare and contrast their culture differences, but their commonality as well. This lesson will allow integration of English, social studies, and tie it all together with multiculturalism. At the completion of the research and comparisons, the students can be encouraged to dress up in traditional clothing and participate in a school culture day. In conclusion, multiculturalism and equity pedagogy without a doubt can increase student interest in social studies. Students thrive through interactive learning and applicable lessons that apply to their life. The benefits from incorporating multiculturalism have been proven to reach and help all students.